Last month we talked about LiAngelo Ball and how his basketball career had came to a standstill. And ever since then things have been crazy. LiAngelo Ball has been going viral and finally now, just as all hope seemed to be lost, has a second chance. LeVar Ball was right about a lot of things. Lonzo Ball going to the Lakers, LaMelo being the best of his sons, but perhaps his greatest prediction back in 2017 was one that we didn't really understand at the time. LeVar did say that all three of his sons would be superstars, and it looks like he's free for free. They're saying LeVar wrote this in 05 as a backup plan.
Honestly, that boy is special. He's gonna be the world's greatest rapper.
And it's now paid off. LiAngelo Ball has just signed a record deal with Def Jam worth $13 million and is also maintaining ownership of his music and his record label. Talk about big baller business. Because G League Youngboy, NCAA Youngboy has arrived. I'm not here to waste your time. We're not going to repeat everything that was said in the last video detailing LiAngelo's career every step of the way. To summarize, basically Jello had a long path filled with setbacks and adversity from high school, college, overseas. It all ended up with an NBA chance with the Hornets. He played in Summer League, did good enough to get on the G League team, spent 2 years there and then left at the end of the season in summer 2023. Since then, not too much has happened. Jello briefly played 2 preseason games with a team in Mexico, but other than that, there's been nothing. The latest was that he was 26 years old and been waiting on a call from a team for the best part of 2 years. He hadn't given up on the basketball though, revealing that his goal was to get back into the G League and work his way up from there. That's pretty much where we were at when I made that video a month ago. And not too long after I released that video, LiAngelo started going viral, though not for the right reasons. Him and Lonzo sat down with WNBA star Angel Reese on the Unapologetically Angel podcast, and this clip where Lonzo was brutally honest with his younger brother went viral everywhere.
I feel like the opportunity not going to be the same in the G League for him. Just because of his process and how long it's been, you know, just being realistic. Feel like I'm his big brother. I got to, you know, tell him the truth. You know what I'm saying? That. I think his path is overseas. Should have been overseas killing.
That's fair enough, too. Overseas is nice. But look, I feel like if I go to the G League, I'm going to carry myself. Like, I only need a shot, bro. If they give me the shot, I feel like I'm going to do my thing. I ain't never messed up like that.
This is the problem I have. I feel like you got your shot in the Summer League with the Hornets.
You played this year?
And got sent to the G.
When he had played.
When was the last time you played?
What year was that?
2022.
2022.
With the Hornets?
Yes.
Was Melo on the team?
No.
Okay.
Yes, he
was, but it was a summer league.
Okay, so y'all weren't playing together.
Exactly.
I played some practices
killing
with him and was doing my thing. I'm not gonna lie.
But you was killing.
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, you got your shot and you capitalized, and how that don't translate into
still got sent to the G.
And didn't play.
People were looking at LiAngelo like a clown. They said he was out of touch with reality, delusional for holding on to his hoop dreams that at this point seemed so unrealistic. And in a lot of ways they had a point. LiAngelo came across as a little entitled, as if the NBA owed him a shot, which Lonzo made pretty clear he already got when he was with the Hornets. I do understand both perspectives here, because LiAngelo isn't wrong when he said he wasn't given a fair chance in the G League. I covered those games on the channel, attended those games in person courtside. LiAngelo was playing well. He had 22 points off the bench in his debut against the Birmingham Squadron and barely played at all after that. He has a right to feel hard done by with what happened. But what Lonzo is telling him is also true, and he knows as a veteran with years of experience in the NBA, it doesn't matter why it didn't work out because the NBA is a brutal business. The only thing that matters is what happened. And what happened was that Jello didn't play. What Lonzo and pretty much everyone else has been telling LiAngelo to do is go overseas. NBA or not, LiAngelo is a very good basketball player who could have a long pro career in many leagues across the world. But what's clear is that LiAngelo doesn't want to do that, and he pretty much confirmed this in a podcast appearance with Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, like, everyone that be like, just go overseas, you know, really ain't never been over there, bro. Like, me personally, I've been overseas for 3 years. I've been to 18 countries. Like, I've been over there, bro. Like, I don't think it's what everybody think it is.
For years, he's had offers on the table from overseas. The London Lions in the UK, teams in Europe, Australia's NBL. He hasn't taken them up on their offer because he's heart set on the NBA. He wants to get in the G League and climb his way up from there, but isn't willing to go overseas and play to earn that G League opportunity. He's simply waiting around for a call and hasn't done anything to separate himself from every other hooper across the world that would bite your hand off for that same opportunity. opportunity in the G League. You could tell from these podcast appearances that Lonzo wanted to help, but has been frustrated by LiAngelo. I believe he was holding back from what he really wanted to say because it was on a public platform and wasn't trying to humiliate or embarrass his brother. You can see that LaMelo and Lonzo have made an effort over these last few months, going out of their way to try and help LiAngelo find his path. Lonzo revealed that one of the reasons they started their podcast was to help him out. LaMelo also tried to set up LiAngelo with Kai Cenat and IShowSpeed, calling him in the middle of his live stream. All of this suggested to me that Lonzo and LaMelo knew that LiAngelo's NBA ship has sailed. It is, after all, one of the most unattainable career paths in all of life. People play basketball from all over the world. Tens of millions of people dream of playing in the NBA, but that is reality for less than 500 people. In almost any other avenue in life, if you're top 1,000 in the world at your craft, you will make it and be successful. The NBA is different. Not only is it almost impossible to get one of those 450 spots, unless you're in the top 150-200 guys, even if you do get there, you're not safe. The majority of players, even the ones that get drafted, are out of the league within 5 years. There's so much turnover on NBA rosters that sustaining a spot is just as hard as getting one in the first place. It's obviously hard for LiAngelo to accept this because he was born for this. He was born and bred to play basketball. Hoops was his entire life. He has 2 brothers who are NBA stars. 3 of his childhood friends from his high school team are in the NBA right now. He grew up with them and was more than capable of holding his own. Because of this, Jello will believe he was good enough to play in the NBA until the day he dies. And maybe he could have, but at some point your window closes, and as a 26-year-old undrafted player with no college experience and little to no professional experience either, he's probably never going to get that chance again. And that's why he's pursuing other things. LiAngelo has tried tapping into the streaming world, and he debuted in a live stream alongside Neon, one of the big streamers on Kick. And this collaboration changed the trajectory of LiAngelo's life. In this stream they talked about basketball, and Jello actually sounded more realistic than ever about his chances of actually making it.
My future plans, bro? No, I got a lot of plans, bro. Like,
no, I'm talking about just basketball-wise.
Oh, basketball-wise? Hell yeah. I would love to go to the NBA, play with my brothers and shit. I gotta start off though, like, this is what I think my path gotta go. I gotta go to the G League, get a little film or some shit there, and then my brother's gonna have to pull a little weight. That's just in all honesty, gang. Like,
this is true. The only way he's ever going to get a shot again is if his brothers make the call. Nepotism is nothing new in the NBA. LeBron did it with his son Bronny, and Giannis did it with Thanasis. He needs a helping hand from his brothers, and LaMelo as the face of the franchise probably would now have enough pull to get Jello a chance, but the thing is he already did. Jello spent 2 years with the Hornets organization, and as he revealed in this podcast, he decided to leave on his own accord.
We got thrown on the G League, but then, I just didn't play as much as I would have liked for sure, so I had to get up out of there.
So LiAngelo kind of messed the Charlotte thing up for himself. Had he stuck around with the G League team, who knows, maybe after playing 3-4 years with the Swarm, they'd have given him a guaranteed contract. But he impulsively decided to leave to join a different G League team, and no G League team has picked him up since. Because of this, it makes it hard to see Charlotte ever taking him back. When Neon asked about any other potential opportunities he's got lined up, Jello did say this.
Okay, but I'll be talking to like the Bulls G League, be calling my agent and shit, so I still gotta see, bro. I'm not just going overseas to go over there.
Now technically he could join the Bulls, but I just think that's unrealistic, because it's no secret that Lonzo is leaving Chicago. He's in the last year of his contract and the Bulls are actively trying to trade him before the deadline. So bringing in his brother in the middle of the G League season that ends in 2 months, when the guy you're signing him for is going to leave in a few months anyway, that doesn't make much sense to me. And with Lonzo's injury history and the fact that he's played under 50 games in 4 years for the Bulls, I highly doubt he has the leverage within the organization to make a power move like that to sign his brother. It's no understatement to say that at the time of the Neon stream, LiAngelo was a meme, and it got even worse when on this stream, Jello had a 3-point shooting contest with Neon. Now LiAngelo's #1 strength as a basketball player is his 3-point shooting. He's always been considered the best shooter in the Ball family, and let's just say it's not a good look for an aspiring NBA player who's supposed to be a specialist to lose in a competition to a guy that looks like he's never hooped a day in his life. Now in fairness to LiAngelo, it's not like he was all suited up ready to play. He wasn't expecting that from Neon. He activated his takeover, unleashed his inner Steph Curry and unlocked the limitless range badge on Hall of Fame. Nobody expected Neon to hit 5 half-court shots in a row. But still, you know what the trolls are like, and in the social media world, this was embarrassing for Jello. And then they went in the car, and this is where everything changed for LiAngelo Ball. Jello told Neon, quote, "You ready for some hot shit, fool?
You ready for some hot shit, fool?
Let's see.
I might sort you in that corner, whoa.
And then proceeded to drop the hottest thing out. Little did he know that unreleased rap song that he previewed was about to be the biggest hit of the year. The snippet went viral everywhere, memes, TikToks, you couldn't open social media without hearing this hook. The song was an old school throwback, like Nelly in the mid 2000s with a sprinkle of Louisiana and NBA Youngboy. Everyone was loving it. It took off so much that Jello had to rush to get it cleared to drop it ASAP. And since its release, the song has exploded even more. Tweaker was uploaded to Worldstar Hip Hop and was trending #1 on YouTube. On Spotify, it was the 12th most streamed rap song in the world day one, with 1.3 million streams on the first day. The song hasn't even been out a week yet, and it's already creeping up on the top 5. To put into perspective how big this song is, Lil Baby, one of the hottest artists of the last decade, released an album on the same Friday that Jello dropped. His best performing song has around 2 million views, and that includes features from Future and Young Thug, two of the biggest artists of their generation. Jello's song has almost double that, and that's only on YouTube. It's not an understatement, it's a fact that Jello Ball has the hottest rap song in 2025 right now, and not only is it going to debut on the Billboard Hot 100, it's probably going to be the #1 song. We have seen fans approach LaMelo on the bench and sing this song during games. We've seen Donovan Mitchell, an NBA player, reacting to the song in the locker room. And forget the NBA, the song's reached the NFL too, with the Lions celebrating their win by turning up to LiAngelo Ball. It's even gone beyond sports and into the mainstream media.
You might swerve in the corner, whoa, I might tell you, next thing you know.
Even Charles Barkley, who can't stand LeVar Ball, is feeling this record. I might swerve in that corner, whoa, is the hook of 2025. In the last 24 hours, we've seen Boozy and Moneybagg Yo reach out to Jello to try and get on the remix. We are in a time where Drake can release a freestyle dissing LeBron James and it's still not as hot as this debut track from Jello. His life is completely changed overnight because every aspiring rap artist on the come up is chasing that one hit song to get their foot in the door. Jello already has that. Forget the fact that we already know who he is. If anyone else came out of nowhere, dropped a track and it was on pace to be the #1 song in the country, everybody would be saying they're next up. Rolling Loud have already reached out. He's scheduled to perform at the festival in March alongside Quavo, Playboi Carti, Ken Carson, A$AP Rocky, Sexy Red and many other major established artists. Off of this one song alone, he's going to be selected for this year's XXL freshman class. Now what a lot of people have been skeptical about is that this isn't really serious and Jello's about to be a one-hit wonder that comes and goes. But check this out. Lonzo Ball's role in all of this has been genius. After all, these are the sons of LeVar Ball, they know a thing or two about marketing. On the same day that Tweaker was released, Lonzo deliberately previewed another snippet in the locker room for Jello's next song. And people are feeling that one too. This next song that comes out Friday is now also going viral. And let me tell you, if this is also a hit, then that makes Jello 2 for 2. And now we're having a completely different conversation. Because any new artist that comes out the gate and has 2 hit songs has to be taken seriously in the rap scene. LiAngelo Ball has hit the jackpot in a turn of events that nobody could have foreseen. His basketball career was at a dead end. His dream that he'd worked his entire life towards was closing in on him fast. And now he's got the opportunity to pursue another career that, like the NBA, is also the dream life for so many people. LiAngelo now has a choice to make, and to be honest, it's a no-brainer. He can continue his hoop dream, maybe get himself another shot at Summer League in the G League, go overseas and make a nice living, or he can go all in on this music thing and be more successful than he ever would in basketball. Let me tell you something, when I covered the Greensboro Swarm, Jello being on that G League team was problematic. There were players in the locker room that court were envious. They didn't like the attention or respect LiAngelo as a hooper because they felt like he hadn't earned the right to be there. And if Jello was to make an NBA roster somehow, some way, that would be the case there as well. Nobody would respect him and they'd say he leached off of his brothers to get there. But as an artist, Jello can stand on his own 2 feet. He's made the NBA in a different way. He isn't out there on the court playing, but he's in the locker rooms. Pretty much every arena is playing his song during games. And from both a business and lifestyle perspective, he's better off proceeding with the rap thing. That way he gets to stay in the United States, doesn't have to leave the country, his family and 2 kids. And let's be honest, he'll make way more money making music than he would in basketball. The average G League salary is $40,000 per year. Even if he was to go there for a year, make the NBA at 27, he'd still be on a minimum contract which is $1.1 million per year. Absolute best case scenario, he'd be a bench warmer that plays under 10 minutes a night. And that would take 100% commitment and dedication as well as a lot of luck. He'd be traveling all across America throughout the season, working out, training, practicing. Would he not be better off riding the wave, doing shows all summer and taking advantage of the hit song he's just created? If you were to take a look at his options right now and forget the history and what could have been in the past, if you were in LiAngelo's shoes and you had to make a choice based on what's the best path to pursue, a music career after having a smash hit song, or NBA basketball at 26 years old when you've not played competitively in almost 2 years? The answer is obvious. Jello has found his calling. He has the personal brand, he has the look, the tattoos, the name, the style, connections that will always keep him relevant. LiAngelo's rap career isn't a joke, and instead of being the brother that people look down on and say didn't make it, they will now look at him as a star in his own right. And although technically you can do both, LiAngelo is now in a position where hooping might not be in his best interests. Because of his newfound popularity, G League teams are going to be calling him. You can call it the Bronny James effect. He's good for business, would put butts in seats and get views on social media. But being an artist these days is as much about your image as it is your music. At the height of his popularity, does he want to go to the G League and risk another situation like the Swarm? And instead of everybody celebrating his music, they're in his comment section clowning him about basketball? Does he want to put himself in a box that every athlete that tries to rap finds themselves in, no matter how good they are, where people never take you that serious? By not playing basketball, Jello is free. When you're an NBA player, you have to conduct yourself in a certain way. Be a professional, media trained. These things would hold him back in music. He wouldn't be able to express himself and be authentic the way fans want their favorite artists to be. And I also think by not playing basketball, Jello would get more respect as a hooper. Because we celebrate artists that can hoop, people talk about how nice J. Cole is, Quavo, Chris Brown, even Justin Bieber. None of them are even close to being as good as LiAngelo Ball. Could you imagine pickup game with a bunch of rappers what Jello would do to these guys on the court? None of those guys were D1 hoopers at UCLA. None of them could hold their own in the G League. And although he wouldn't be teaming up with his brothers in the NBA, Jello could still do his thing. He dominates whenever he plays the Drew League. Last time he played, he had a 50-point game. Could you imagine every summer LaMelo, Lonzo and LiAngelo teaming up in the Drew League with LeVar coaching in California, 2 of the best Cali hoopers and a homegrown artist, then afterwards headlining a show with LaMelo and Lonzo on stage and a guest appearance from LeVar? This has potential to be even more insane than basketball. Jello has everything to succeed as a rapper. Best believe that Kai Cenat stream that LaMelo was trying to set up, that's gonna happen. That's gonna push his song even more, reach a whole new audience. He'll be able to do interviews with whoever he likes, The Breakfast Club, DJ Academics, Joe Budden. Everything is in motion, and if LiAngelo plays his cards right, he could be a legitimate rap star. And I know longtime Ball family fans will be disappointed to see LiAngelo never play in the NBA, because so many people wanted and dreamed of it happening. I did too. But we have to be realistic. Jello went undrafted in 2018. It's now 2025. So would you not prefer he made something of himself independently instead of being handheld by his brothers? Would you not rather see the brother that didn't make it give up hooping on his own terms to thrive at something else instead of being told he's not good enough his entire life and that's the end of story? If I'm LiAngelo Ball, I am tripling down on music. Because although it's not what he planned, it's the best move on the chessboard. A second chance to live the dream. And I'll end this video with one more diamond. A few months ago, Cameron was going in on LiAngelo, calling him a failure and saying that they're incomparable, flexing the fact that he has 12 platinum records.
You Jello gonna prove you wrong. I never said Jello can rap, I said he can't play basketball.
Would it not be the plot twist of the century century for LiAngelo to pursue music, step into his world, and exceed everything Cameron has accomplished in music. Let me tell you something, Cameron never had a #1 song, and Jello Ball's Tweaker is on pace to be that. Who knows how many more hits he can cook up. But Jello Ball's just getting started, and I think we're about to see something completely unprecedented. Jello Ball is bringing a refreshing, old school sound back to hip hop. We all know Lonzo and LaMelo are probably teaming up together in the NBA at the end of the season. Lonzo is a free agent and Charlotte are looking to sign him. Would it not be tragic to see them both play together and LiAngelo on the sidelines doing nothing? No, Jello's going to be right there with them, with his sound blasting through the speakers at Spectrum Center while he sat with a double cup courtside with LeVar Ball soaking it all in. Final call to action, go stream Tweaker, get G3 to #1, and secondly, check out this video right here where we talk about Lonzo Ball, what's happening with his basketball career and where he's about to get traded. Click the box in the middle of your screen to watch that, and on that note, it's DKM signing out until next time, and peace.